Good evening and welcome to this special edition of 10 Eyewitness News. There is a fight right now between Tony Abbott and Malcolm Turnbull inside the Liberal Party room at Parliament House.
Today, the former Liberal leader Malcolm Turnbull launched a formal challenge, saying Australia needs a different style of leadership, one that respects the intelligence of the Australian people. Well, the decision tonight falls to the Liberal Party MPs and senators. Tony Abbott went in saying he expects to win. Malcolm Turnbull is equally confident about his chances.
Well, let's go straight to Matt Moran, who's in the corridors at Parliament House. Matt, it is all about the numbers in a contest like this. So who was in fact flanking Tony Abbott and how many were there arriving with him? Do we have Matt Moran?
Yes, I am here. It's a hive of activity down here. We understand there's a hive of activity down here. We understand that Tony Abbott went with 26 people. He arrived. A number of cabinet ministers supporting him, but the Turnbull camp said they've got 60 plus votes.
So, you know, when the Labor Party was going through all of this, people looked to see how Bill Shorten was going to vote. There's a lot of interest in Scott Morrison, seen as a rising star in the government. How much is made of the fact that Scott Morrison might be voting for the Prime Minister, but he's indicated he's not willing to stand as his deputy?
Well, I think Scott Morrison declared his hand. We're just seeing some people emerge now.
OK, we're going to go and take that live picture.
So
there's someone walking. That's Andrew Nikolic. We just saw walking in to a room. That's the numbers man for the Prime Minister. And it looks as though we might have a vote there.
Already.
A vote result. Let's check in. There's a 10-metre walk. And then we're going to get the numbers. Who will be the Prime Minister of Australia? Let's listen in.
Everyone right? Thank you for being here tonight. Tonight there were 2 ballots conducted in the Liberal Party room. 1 ballot for leader, 1 ballot for deputy leader. In the leadership was contested by Malcolm Turnbull and Tony Abbott. Malcolm Turnbull was successful on 54, Tony Abbott 44, and we had 1 informal of 99. For the position of Deputy Leader, we had, to repeat that, 54 and 44. Senator Ronaldson then joined the room to be eligible to vote in the ballot for Deputy Leader. That was contested by Julie Bishop and Kevin Andrews. Julie Bishop was successful with a vote of 70 to Kevin Andrews 30, making a total of 100.
Prime Minister, his deputy Julie Bishop, Malcolm leading by 10 points in that vote against Tony Abbott, Hugh, and Julie Bishop a decisive vote
against
in terms
Kevin
of being
Andrews, who was basically taking a last shot at it, really. But you knew straight away Malcolm Turnbull had won from the minute he said there were 2 votes there. One was for the leadership and the other for the deputy leadership. Had there been a Tony Abbott victory there, presumably other things would have happened. We've got Paul Bongiorno standing by. Paul, you've watched so much of this down the years. What do you make of that?
Well, fortunately for Malcolm Turnbull, it's a handsome victory. There's as Sandra was saying, there's 10 votes.
We'll come back to you a little later on. The last direct leadership vote between Malcolm Turnbull and Tony Abbott, of course, famously was back in 2009. On that occasion, it was Mr Abbott who toppled Mr Turnbull by a single vote. That, of course, was when the coalition was in opposition.
However, prior to today, leadership spills in government had been synonymous with the Labor Party, with Julia Gillard and Kevin Rudd repeatedly slugging it out for the top spot. Ursula Hager takes a look back at a brief history of leadership spills.
They say politics is a blood sport. And
in fact, actually takes place. But of course, the biggest changes, the biggest developments taking place tomorrow in the morning when a new cabinet needs to be lined up. He says he's sticking to policy. But of course, the generals in front, the mandarins at the head of those departments, we'll just see how that all translates.
Yes, the minister's coming up beyond the end of the next week. But as he says, there's never been a more exciting time to be alive, Sandra. He's a man who looks very excited to be where he is right now, that's for sure.
He does indeed. We'll bring you the very latest developments, full-out analysis and reaction to this historic day in Canberra and across Australia. Tomorrow night, 5 o'clock, 10 News.